Our next speaker is Jalonda Combs. She is the Director of STEM at OIC of America, where she leads national initiatives that connect historically overlooked youth to hands-on career-focused STEM opportunities. Please welcome her.
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. As mentioned, I'm Jalonda Combs. I'm the Director of STEM for OIC of America, and I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Before we dive in, I do want to, I want this to be a little reflective. I want you guys to be a little interactive. I will be asking some questions. I may ask you to turn to your neighbor just to, discuss. I may ask some questions for you to respond out loud, or even for you to just think and reflect, okay? All right, you see a cute little girl right there? All right, so I want to start this Zoom thing. Can we get rid of it? Just so we can see. You got it? Maybe not. Say that again. All right, let's boogie. All right, sweet. So I want to start with a question. What do you want to be when you grow up? So I know you're probably thinking, aren't we already grown? But the truth is, we're never done growing, right? Every opportunity gives us a moment and a chance to grow into something new. So turn to your neighbor and answer that question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Quite funny, right?
I know.
It is. The field of women.
All right. So, how about a couple of you share? What do you want to be when you grow up? A leader. How about you? A leader. All right. Let me go way in the back. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Teacher.
A teacher. That's what I wanted to be too. How about you? Go ahead. Huh. I love it. All right. Oh, that's quite interesting. How about you? CFO, boss. I love that. I love it. All right. I'm going to actually ask you right here. Yep.
Choice is bad.
Oh, no answer is bad.
My daughter.
Okay.
And I want to be Peter Pan. I don't want to grow up.
I don't want to grow up.
42 years of engineering.
Oh, wow.
But
Awesome.
I still like it. I don't want to grow up.
And that's the key, right? You got to do what you enjoy. And so I'm going to go ahead and ask your daughter. Let's see if she has a better answer than you.
Get one.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do more community, like give back.
Okay.
I'm in marketing and finance, so I want to do more of that when I grow up.
I love it. I love it. All right. So you guys see the responses are different, right? And that's the beauty of growth. It's always changing, right? As a young kid, you probably think, I want to be a teacher. And then as you go through the different phases of your life, you see yourself and identify yourself in different places, and you grow into different people, right? So if you ask me what I want to be when I grow up, I want to be somebody that continuously opens doors, right? Somebody that opens doors, especially for young women and women of color, because they typically don't get many of those opportunities to walk into STEM leadership. Thank you for your participation. All right, click. Oh, this would happen for me, right?
So we just like feel difficulties at every speaker.
Student. Oh, okay. All right, boom. All right. Okay, so here we are. So when I was growing up, I didn't see many women in STEM leadership. And I really didn't see many women of color in those types of positions, right? And so the truth is, many women, less than 30% of women hold careers in STEM fields. And of that, 5% of them are colored. And so when I want you guys to think, when was the first time you seen somebody in a career field that you're interested in that looked like you? Think about that. Like when I wanted to be a teacher, I had my first African American teacher when I was in 5th grade. 5th grade. So think about that. That gap of representation, it matters. And that's the reason why I do this work today. I want to create the representation that I did not see when I was younger, right? I want to make sure that the opportunities for young people to see people that look like them in these careers is more evident, and they get more and they feel that it's more possible for them, right? All right. So fast forward to today. I'm a national director for OIC of America. I get to be in spaces with kids all across the country, providing them with opportunities to explore science, technology, and innovation. And for those of you who are not familiar with OIC of America, we're a national nonprofit that provides people across the nation and underrepresented communities with opportunities for workforce development and education, to provide them with opportunities to see themselves in careers and be able to make a living for their families and also advance in their communities. And for in STEM, that also gives me an opportunity, again, to engage young people, give them space to engage and explore and see themselves in science, technology, and engineering careers. Click. All right, so out of our legacy, we've been around for over 60 years. We were able to afford an opportunity to move from one city of STEM programming to 4 cities to now 6 cities across the United States to provide young people with exploration and hope that they can become the leaders of the future. So this program is very near and dear to me because this is how I was able to afford my job on the national stage. And so in those cities, they build bridges for young people to see themselves in those different careers and also become leaders of the future, right? So they get to explore different career fields. So they meet with mentors, as you mentioned, right? They get to go on field trips, be in space with professionals so that they can see if these are the careers that they're interested in. How many of you all, adults only, went off to college and knew exactly what you were going to do, and you're in that career today? Nobody? You? Okay, 1. All right. So in that, I know I started off with a degree in education, and I thought that's what I wanted to do. I ended up with a degree in business management. How did that happen, right? And you think about how much funds you spend on education, right? Not knowing what you want to do. So this program is super exciting because the kids get that opportunity for exploration early on. They get to be in spaces with the professionals. They get to explore these different opportunities to say, I tried architecture and design. I didn't like that, right? So they know they've tried it. They know they're not going to spend their money on that in education, so they can move on to something different. And so that's the benefit of this program here. Another program that we have at the national level, it's volunteer driven. So we invite corporate partners, community partners, and college students to come in and volunteer at our programs. And so we host monthly events here in Minnesota and Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Wilson, North Carolina, New Britain, Connecticut, Philadelphia, and now Portland. So that's our sixth city. And we also host a STEM Fest. Picture this. Hundreds of kids lined up outside of Target Court Building, downtown Minneapolis, waiting to get into our STEM Fest. Kids inside, they're exploring, they're building robots, they're coding, they're flying drones, they're exploring different careers that they never knew existed. But that's the benefit of our programs. We give them space to just explore and learn new things, and with hopes that we plant a seed that someday that seed will manifest. And for me, that was the moment I knew. Being at that STEM Fest, seeing those kids engaging, seeing their own potential, that's the moment that I knew that this is the work that I'm supposed to do. This is where I need to be to encourage and inspire the workforce of the future. What was your click moment? Think about that. What was the moment that you knew that this is the work you want to do and this is who you want to become? And I want you guys to respond to that. So think for a moment, your click moment. Where were you? What were you doing? What happened when you're like, this is what I want to do? This is who I want to become. All right, you can raise your hand or I'm going to call on you. All right, go ahead.
That actually kind of happened in a weird order, but it's when I actually applied to a college and was accepted.
Okay.
Because growing up, I came from a place where education wasn't something that women pursued.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always thought I would just get rejected.
Oh.
So the second that I opened up and saw that I was accepted to college, I was like, all things are possible.
All things are possible. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you have to experience that, right? So as I mentioned, I didn't see an African-American teacher until I was in 5th grade. Is that possible? But when I was really young, and funny story, me and my 1st grade teacher were still friends. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but we're still friends. We go to each other's kids' college grad parties. We stay connected. It's a feeling that I never would have expected, but she was the reason why I decided that I wanted to be a teacher. So congratulations to you. That's super exciting. You back there, is that a striped blue and white shirt you have on? These eyes work sometimes.
I would say really my major. So I realized I wanted to go into cybersecurity because of like current things that's going on right now. And as I was like taking the classes, I know like this is for me. I have a passion for it. So I would say that.
Definitely the current environment does shift our thinking, right? Because if you don't experience it, how do you know? So one thing I always say when I'm meeting with partners, I'm like, if they can see it, they can be it, right? But if they can't see it, how will they know that it's possible, right? Thank you so much for sharing. How about you right here in the middle? Yep.
Well, I don't have like a professional career, obviously, but I do camp counseling over the summer. And I think the moment I knew that it was something I wanted to do was a kid got hurt and ran straight for me. And that was kind of the moment where I was like, I want to be the safe space for like.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And the truth is, kids know when somebody's safe. They will definitely, you're like a magnet to them. And same thing with dogs. Like, dogs, I had a dog when I was a little girl, and I actually have 2 dogs now because my daughter talked me into buying them. But now they're so perfect. They're so perfect. They always cling to me because they know that's their safe space, right? All right, I'm gonna take one more young lady right here in the middle with the glasses on. Oh gosh. Yep. You. Sorry about that. That wasn't a good one. What was your click moment?
Something I know for sure I want to do is I want to be an engineer who
Okay.
works with something computers or something electrical. And I guess I knew that when it a while ago,
Mhm.
just putting things together in middle school, even before that. I just knew.
Yeah, no, and it's super important. You mentioned earlier today that we spend most of our time at work. Like we really do. 9 to 5, sometimes 9 to 7, right? So you have to do something that you enjoy. So although you guys haven't graduated yet, or maybe some of you have, be intentional about identifying what makes you happy, what brings you joy, right? Because again, you're going to spend most of your time at work. You want to make sure you enjoy it, right? You get up in the morning like, oh, I'm ready to go put some things together. I'm ready to go solve some problems, right? And so it's super important for you to really be in tune with what makes you click and what makes you tick, because that's where you're going to be spending most of your time. All right. So being in those spaces, so sharing space with those students at the STEM Links program, being at the STEM Saturdays, and also those STEM Fests, they're super exciting. So we're having one June 6th too. So you guys follow me. We can have you guys come and volunteer. You will absolutely love it. And it's actually hosted here at the University of Minnesota. So being in those spaces with young people taught me that real change is not just about programs. It's not just about events. It's about the leaders we choose to be, right? So we have to really be mindful of how we're showing up in space, not only with young people, but with adults as well. And I'll be honest with you to say, my own leadership journey has not been easy. I started off teaching, and then I got into community organizing. And when I started with OIC, I actually started with a local affiliate, and I was just hired part-time, $15 a week. They're like, you know, everybody in the city, come work for us, recruit the kids. We're starting this new STEM program. This was in 2020, right before the pandemic. So 15 hours a week, I was hired to just recruit kids to come to this new STEM program. We started with 45 kids. February 2022, now we've had, in 2020, now we've engaged thousands of kids across the country. But who would imagine? Again, I'm just recruiting kids, and I was making $15 an hour. That's how passionate I was. I'm like, I love these kids. They got to have an opportunity. And so, again, it wasn't easy. I had to call my friends, call my family, like, hey, you guys got to come to this program, right? And so now here I am, a national leader. I had kids coming to events all across the country just to explore and try out STEM. But I want to share 3 lessons with you today that guide me as I continue to grow. All right, so here I am. A picture of me, that's when I first got my teaching job. And then when I first got my, my job as a leader. So lesson number 1, leadership is about growth. You never arrive. I'll repeat that. You never arrive. You're constantly growing. And every new stage allows you to grow into the next version of yourself. For me, that meant shifting from teacher to community organizer to program developer to now national leader. It stretched me in different ways that made me feel quite uncomfortable many times. But guess what? When you're uncomfortable, you know that's an opportunity for growth, right? All right, so lesson 2. Leadership is about access. The real test of your leadership isn't about how many doors you walk through. It's about how many doors you open for others. I think of a student, her name is Janaya. She came to one of our robotics programs and she was super shy. She wouldn't speak. She really wasn't engaged. She'd do her work and then she'll leave. But by the time that program was over with, she was leading coding activities with her peers. It was super exciting and things like that. We empower them to grow into leaders, right? So them having that opportunity to explore and engage in robotics allowed her to come out of her comfort zone and grow confidence and her future shift. She actually ended up getting a scholarship to go to college. She's a nurse. She's going to study to be a nurse now, but her scholarship provided her a full expense paid to college, any college she wanted to go to. So she's attending Morgan State University in Baltimore currently. They're going to pay for any study abroad, anything that ties to her education over the next 4 years. She was awarded that. And that's because she went through our program. She was able to connect with some of our partners and she applied for this scholarship. And so they're like, this scholarship is worth over $500,000. Imagine that, you guys. Isn't that powerful? Super powerful. All right. So the last lesson that I want to leave you with today is leadership is about authenticity. You don't have to lead like everyone else. I admire Michelle Obama, and I admire our president and CEO, Mr. Louis King, who's done transformative work here in Minnesota and across the nation. But their path isn't mine. Your voice, your power, your authenticity is your superpower. Hold on to that, right? No room can move forward without your perspective. And so make sure that every day that you show up as you. What's your name? Sadie. Yao. Casey. Abby. Vicky. Patricia. So show up as yourself when you show up in your role, whether it's in school, whether it's at work. You need to show up as your authentic self, because guess what? The world can't move forward without you. I remember one time I was coming on to working in nonprofit, from being a teacher, totally different world. We were having a strategy discussion. We were speaking about strategy, and our president and CEO, he sort of looked at me, and I get the shrug shoulder, like, what is that? But his response was, you bring a different perspective, and we need that. And that's when I realized that authenticity is not optional, it's essential. So every day you show up to work or you show up to school, show up as your authentic self, okay? Next, so now I want you to think about this. Who held the door open for you? Who gave you an opportunity? Who believed in you? Think about that. Picture their face. Who was it? Who was it for you?
It was someone that I used to work with.
Okay. All right. We encounter new people every single day, right? How about you? Your parents? That's a good one, because I spend a lot of my days being a mom. How about you?
My current supervisor.
Okay, yep. I'd love to hear that. How about you?
My parents did so much for me.
And that's important. How about you?
My parents.
All right, that's powerful. So when somebody believes in you, they open up the door. That's leadership. They're providing you access for what's next. All right, so why does STEM matter? It's not just about coding or robots. It's about access. It's about confidence, careers, and community. And when we open pathways, young people don't just dream, they innovate, they build, they grow, and they lead. And when women, especially women engineers, take on leadership roles, the ripple effect is powerful. Equity and inclusion aren't optional. They are essential to our future. And I want you guys to remember that. Gosh, you guys, it's cold in here. All right, so think about this. What is one step you can take now? Maybe it's starting a project you've held back on. Maybe it's finding a mentor or becoming one yourself. Or maybe it's applying for that job that you've been eyeing. I want you guys to share. Think about it for a moment. What is something that you've been holding back on, or something that you can take a step right now, today, to advance yourself on your journey? Fellas, I'm gonna call on you guys. Both of you right here on my left. What's one step you can take today to advance your journey?
A project that I was thinking about starting is like I'm the sponsorship lead for our robotics team,
Okay,
and our current like Google Drive is very messy for our sponsorship. So a project that I'm
Been
kind of
there.
putting off is trying to help organize and everything in the right place.
good, good. That's important. You can't move forward without being organized. Some people thrive off of being disorganized, and they can manage, but that's a good step. How about you?
Probably starting a club at my school. And, I'm gonna be doing like a cloud computing club,
Okay.
CSHS. So probably working on that. Sure, it's run smoothly this year.
What's the first step you need to take to accomplish that?
Probably making some presentations because all of like the management stuff is pretty much done. So I need to start making presentations and prepare for the real.
Good thought. Good thought. Good luck. I trust that you're gonna make that step. How about you right here? Yep.
So, recently I've been like working on multiple projects. So first step, I just want to stay more organized.
Organization is key. Many people neglect to adopt that. How about you right here?
I started my own business in the last year, and I've always been in technology. So I've had to learn about sales and marketing. So I hired a sales coach. So now I just hired a sales coach. So I need to embrace that opportunity and
Help is
get
needed.
into action.
Absolutely. Congratulations on adding to your team. All right, so let's go back to where we started today. I asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? But now I want you to think of it differently, not as a child's question, but as today's question. What do you want to grow into next today in your journey of leadership, or even just your journey of education, moving forward to the next step? What do you want to grow into next? I want you guys to take out a piece of paper or take out your phone. I know everybody has that. Oh, it's so cool. Write down what you want to be when you grow up as a today's question. What's the next step of your journey? What are you going to do? Is it apply for that college that you've been eyeing? Is it design a new robot that you want to use in a competition? What is it? Is it even asking your teacher to write that reference letter for you to get into college? What's the next step? It can be small or large, but I want you to write it down so that you don't forget, so that you can take action. Leadership is not a destination. It's a journey of growth, a journey of creating access for others, and a journey of boldly using your voice to change the future. I'm still growing, and I'll be growing until I take my last breath, just as you are. And I want you guys to embrace that. So when you make a mistake or you fail a project, show yourself some grace. And remember, this is an opportunity for growth. Because when we fail uncomfortable. I can't believe I just dropped that ball. I can't believe I didn't make that jump shot. I can't believe my robot won't turn on, right? I've worked on this for months. But things happen all the time. And so I want you guys to move forward in the spirit of reminding yourself that every day is an opportunity to grow. All right? So I'll leave you with this simple framework. When you leave here today, I want you to feel inspired. I want you to know that your voice matters. And I want you to do something. Maybe it's what you wrote down on that paper, but take one step this week. Maybe it's mentoring somebody. Maybe it's applying for that college, as I mentioned, but open the door for somebody. Make sure that this week that you take a step to advance yourself, to become that leader that you're aspiring to be. And it can be, again, a small thing. But I believe that the next generation of women leaders in STEM aren't just out there. I believe they're right here in this room. All right? So you guys hold on to that. Here are a couple other things that we discussed throughout the day that I want you guys to take with you today. That leadership is not a destination. It's a journey of growth, access, and authenticity. Knowing your story, your voice, and your presence matter. And finally, I know I said this and I'm gonna keep saying it until I get off the stage. Take one step, move forward in your journey, and open a door for someone else. Right, I'm gonna close with, let's keep opening doors together. I would love to carry on this conversation. There's so many opportunities for engagement in our organization and our local programs, and I would love to see your faces again. But again, remember, leadership is about growing. You gotta embrace that, all right? And always be your true, authentic self and provide access for somebody else. Thank you so much for this group, for this opportunity to speak with you guys today. And thank you guys for sharing while I was here. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much.